Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's lightning takes, as always. And let's get right to the news.
Today we're going to talk about Commander Cody. You know, how he returned in the Bad Batch. There was an interview that D. Bradley Baker did. You know, he is obviously the voice of Cody, Crosshair, and...
Every single other clone in the show?
Yep.
Except for Omega, who is kind of a clone. I mean, she is a clone. She's a clone of Jango.
More of a Source clone, but yeah, she's a clone.
A Source clone. Mm-hmm. You made it sound like it was a dirty thing. Those damn dirty Source clones. Like
You've
Boba.
got issues. But he talked about, you know, the fact that we're seeing the return of Cody in a still young Empire. And it's kind of a welcome return. What D says is... Do you call him D or D Bradley?
I don't know. Call him D. Bradley.
What D. Bradley says.
I think the full name. He deserves it. He has so many names, though.
Well, it's fascinating, isn't it? Cody's a beloved character. We know since Order 66 played out, we've all seen that he was part of that horrible moment and his place in that.
He's more than part of it.
But then you wonder, what became of Obi-Wan's right-hand clone? What happened there? And so it turns out that he's still in with the Empire, and he still thinks that this went the way it should. That they took out the bad guys, and they're here to bring order and to make the world work. And they're a fighting force for good.
Come on, there's no way Cody believes that Obi-Wan
That's what he believed after the fact. You know, that's what he was...
Is that what
the
order
chip
kicked
made him
think?
That's probably what the chip made him think, that they really were, that the Jedi really did turn on them and they were doing what was right. I mean, there would have been a lot of a mass exodus immediately afterwards if they thought like what they did was wrong.
True.
But with the Jedi dead, who's there to say anything other than, yes, the Jedi were wrong. They did try to assassinate, you could say,
all the lovely
Chancellor.
Memories. Just cue up the soft, gentle music. We have Cody and Obi-Wan running on a beach together. Memories of the good times.
You've got some weird issues.
I'm in a mood today, yeah.
Well, we remember in the latest episode of Bad Batch, spoilers ahead if you have not watched episode 3.
Which you should be. I mean, it was a great episode.
Yeah. Crosshair is assigned to that rescue mission with Cody as a commander. Early on, Cody kind of confides to Crosshair that there are rumors more and more clones are questioning the legitimacy of the Emperor's command. Crosshair brands them as traitors, but it seems like Cody has his doubts. Closing out the mission, Cody brokers the release of the captive Imperial, but refuses to execute the captor, who only wanted to protect her world. In the end, Crosshair pulls the trigger, but for Cody, it's a turning point. What D. Bradley says is, he is faced with the reality on the ground of what's actually transpiring, of what's unfolding. Well, as the fans know, and I think love about the clones, is that the clones exist in a moral universe. They know right and wrong, and fair and unfair, just and unjust, and they want the best. And when they see it, they have the humanity and the intelligence to start to inspect the contrary of what may have also been said or believed. So here we have Cody coming face to face now with the reality of what he has signed on to, of what he stayed loyal to, as well as Crosshair. So both of these guys are starting to see very directly and movingly what's up in a way that cannot be denied, excused, or turned away from. Yeah, see,
it's also Crosshair, too. Yeah, I'm glad he mentions that it's Crosshair, too, because we've kind of discussed
both of them see it right in the face.
Yeah.
Maybe not at the same moment. I mean, Crosshair did carry out the deed, but then afterwards, when Cody left, I mean, he has to deal with that introspection as well.
Yeah. He's got to ask why, you know, he probably thinks highly of Cody, and Cody didn't follow the order. Cody left. What does that mean?
What does that mean? What does that mean to Crosshair? What does that mean for Crosshair?
Yeah.
Now he has to do even more inspection, going, well, first my brothers all left.
Yep. They wouldn't follow
and now
orders.
somebody else that I kind of was chummy with, they left. Is it just me?
Am I the baddie?
Am I the baddie? You know, as the actor behind both Cody and Crosshair, Baker says, it's a compelling and interesting story, and it's one of the really interesting episodes. I think that fans are going to love in particular because they love Cody, and they do want more Cody. I know they do, because they tell me. They tell me at the conventions. They'll take a signed 8x10 of Cody, even though I haven't voiced Cody for a long while. They still love him. And so, here he comes. Let's see where that goes. It's pretty great.
What happened to Cody was one of the biggest mysteries out there
after
the Clone Wars.
That was what made everyone really question Order 66, because we saw their relationship.
Yeah.
We saw that more than any other clone in his commander. really, to see him.
Oh, Rex and Anakin and
Yeah,
Rex and
but
Ahsoka
we know that
too.
Rex carried on and left, and
Yeah.
he wasn't involved.
Well,
we
yeah,
didn't
we
see
did.
Rex shoot on him in the
Yeah.
movies like we did Cody.
Yeah, we know there isn't an interaction between Rex and Anakin when Order 66 goes on. We knew that ahead of time.
We did. Whereas ahead of time we knew that Cody shot at him. That Cody was like, okay, take him out. And then we watched this whole series about how they're so close. And it was such a question mark on the whole series.
It is interesting that somehow, some way, the clones are able to override shooting Anakin. That they know he is no longer a Jedi. Is that like Palpatine giving?
Maybe he never gave them the same order. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't know.
I would assume those clones had to get Order 66 too. The ones who go to the temple with Anakin and do the deed, they had to have been Order 66 as well.
But there's got to be some.
We
just know that these chips are sophisticated in advance. We don't know how they function.
Which is kind of an issue, I think. It's becoming more, in my opinion, you might not care, but I do. I'm more getting to the point where I'm like, well, how did the chips actually work? I'm going to even talk about it a little bit on the other channel today about how the chips were. More speculation and maybe what can happen eventually with the chips. Because, again, they know not to shoot Anakin. So they can be reasoned with, in a way, or reordered. I mean, perhaps
we know they
Palpatine
can be
just flat
reasoned
out
with
told them.
because even Ahsoka was trying to reason with them.
Well, yeah, but that was, I mean, we credit that to Fives, right? Fives kind of put the doubt into Rex's head. He's even, Fives, find five, he's, that last moment.
But Cody was even reasoning with the other clones who are all like, no, we got to shoot her. And then he's like, no, we should take her in. And they're like, should we take her in? Maybe we should take her in. When he shows up with her alive.
Yeah, but they were, at that point, there was also... See, I'm just wondering if Palpatine tells the clones that are with Anakin, like, no, he's cool. This one's cool.
Maybe.
He's with me.
Probably.
He stayed loyal, and that was it. That's all they needed.
But back to the article at hand, because you're just going off the rails when I didn't want you to.
You didn't. Perhaps the fans do.
Whatever. But what was interesting about the quote that everyone's probably forgotten already was they said, let's see where that goes, implying possibly we'll see more of Cody this season, which I'm looking forward to.
We know we'll see more of Cody. He's not disappearing into the void now. Not again. Another 10 years of no Cody.
And I'm just going to override you because we'll move on to the next article. Star Wars composer John Williams is not retiring from scoring films after all. Yep.
That's it?
Just sticking around.
Well, we know he was doing Indiana Jones.
Shortly after the release of his score for The Fabelmans, he kind of revealed to Entertainment Weekly, he was speaking with them, that, maybe he's not done. He was supposed to be done with Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. He announced that was going to be the last movie he was going to work on. And he's like, maybe I don't retire. Maybe I don't. I mean, at 90 years old, that was like initially the factor that was like, I should scale back because I'm getting kind of older and,
Kind of older, yes.
But he's like, well, I love my work too much to just stop entirely scoring theatrical films. On his press tour for The Fabelmans, Williams explained that he wants to keep working with Steven Spielberg, who he has collaborated on 29 films over 50 years.
Holy cow.
Mm-hmm. He said, I'll stick around for a while. I can't retire from music. A day without music is a mistake. One thing Steven isn't is a man you can say no to. I just found out he's not retiring.
How old is Spielberg, too? Holy cow. He's got to be in his 80s, right? Or at least very,
and if
very
he's not retiring, John Williams said, well, I can't give up. He was cited as the special sauce of Star Wars by George Lucas, and he scored, how many of them? 9 of them Skywalker Saga movies? Yeah. Along with 5 Indiana Jones movies, all 5 of them. And he's not done. He hasn't totally, he didn't say anything about reversing course on doing the scores for entire Star Wars films. But he might be persuaded to come back and compose individual compositional themes like he did for Kenobi, Solo, and even the Galaxy's Edge theme park theme.
Yeah, why retire? If you love what you do, why
then
do you ever stop doing it as long as you can do it?
Right. It's good for your brain to keep it going, too, especially when you're getting older. Keep your brain thinking.
Keep it active, yeah. I think that's one of the keys to longevity is having something to do.
Well, they say your brain is a muscle once you stop using it.
Yeah.
All right, now let's move on to the return of the segment of New This Week in Star Wars, etc. This is why it went away. So I'm sorry, everybody.
That is
it
not
went away
why
because
it went
of
away.
him.
No, it did not go away for that.
It did.
We were dry on New This Week stuff.
Not really, but...
Really? You've been holding back.
Never. Plus, there's an etc., which means I can just talk about whatever I want.
See, I'm surprised you didn't just turn it into the etc. part.
Monday, tonight, New Mandalorian trailer is supposed to be premiering during Monday Night Football.
Yep. And also the internet, I'm sure, 10 seconds later. So if you don't
If
want to
not
watch
10
the
seconds
Buccaneers
before.
and Cowboys, watch the internet.
Watch the internet. There'll be tweets
It'll be
and
everywhere
all that
as soon as
stuff.
it drops,
You'll
you know
know.
that, yeah.
You'll know. Wednesday, we've got the Bad Batch episode 4 to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
In comics, for Wednesday, we have Bounty Hunters 30 and Han Solo and Chewbacca 9 because they're just squeezing that for all they can.
Yep. They are squeezing legacy characters for everything. We even have a Yoda series going on now, which has been, been super exciting.
On Friday, Vox Machina Season 2 premieres on Amazon, the D&D Critical Role show.
Which you're going to make me watch the first episode of season 1. I
Yeah, you
kinda
haven't
steered away
watched
from
any of
that,
it?
yeah.
Because it's not the same as your D&D, obviously.
Oh, you make me sound like elitist.
Well, every Dungeon Master, I'm sure, has their own.
Not every dungeon master makes their own world, but some of us have been working on our own world for 30 years, so.
Yeah, where's your TV show?
Yeah. Maybe that's why I don't watch it. It's just jealousy. I'm kidding.
And on Sunday, the second episode of The Last of Us will premiere on HBO.
Yeah, we saw the first one last night.
We did watch it.
Good, but kind of almost exactly like the game.
I know you said, and I kind of agreed that it felt a bit long. Like, you could tell the time was running.
Yeah, it was. It's a slow burn, the first
slow
episode. Which I'm not opposed to.
No, we're not saying it's not good. It's just
It is.
you were craving more action out of a video game concept.
Yeah, I think, it's such a strange thing, and I think it would make an interesting topic, so I won't go too deep into it here, and if people want to talk about it more and us to talk about it more, but it's kind of strange how sometimes when it's like a remake of a game or whatever it might be, how we want it to be just like the game or the book or whatever it might be. And then sometimes you get it and you're like, well, I know everything that's going to happen, so that kind of takes a bit of the edge off. And that's kind of how I felt about the first episode. Like, I knew literally everything that was going to happen.
Beat for beat, yeah.
Yeah. Which is cool in a way, but in a way it's also like, oh, yeah.
One thing I thought was entertaining is sometimes when Joel, a.k.a. Pedro Pascal, was speaking, I was like, this is 100%. He's using his Mando voice. He was using his Mando voice. There were times. I was like, if I closed my eyes, I wouldn't know.
No.
Where's your helmet, Joel?
Oh, he took his helmet off.
Oh.
Armor is going to be pissed. But no, it's good. It was really good. I mean, I thought well acted, well written, looks great, all that. It's just, there's that part of you that's like, yep, that was exactly what I thought was going to happen.
That was what it was, yep.
So, I think that's going to be all we got for this time. So do take to the comments below and tell us what you think of any and all of today's news, or what are you looking forward to most from this week, the new in Star Wars. Whatever the case may be, leave your comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars, and until next time, thanks for watching.